In my garage study, the dryer offers a gentle hum. Screens flash with news of Liberty Vote's rise, announcing Dominion's death. So-called conservatives hail the news, heralding it as a win for election integrity. It might be, but not for the reasons they claim. I see two possibilities. Trump's DOJ is exerting pressure on Dominion. Criminal investigations are underway. They were pressured to sell. Decommission rigged machines while the government shutdown allows Trump to defund and remove the deep state election aspects of DHS and CISA, with the goal of getting us to paper ballots, hand-counted in a single day. The other, Liberty Vote, is the deep state's latest attempt to shapeshift, play at compliance, and move the goalpost on how elections will be subverted going forward. It could be a combination of both, but here's my dilemma. I can't validate the first option with any real confidence. It's a hunch, an intuition, and I can't risk allowing our election-rigging black box slave masters to go about in peace on mere intuition. So, shine a light I must on Liberty Vote. Why? Because conservative influencers that may be sincere in their misguided beliefs about our elections are still silent about the use of rigged machines and software. Sincerity be damned, their beliefs are killing our nation's elections. I suppose I can live with idiots babbling about things beyond their understanding, but I can't abide conservative Inc., the MAGA-masked establishment that knows the truth but pretends otherwise. They are facilitators of the nefarious lie that machines do not bleed us dry, all while concealing the Faustian devil that gave them 30 pieces of silver to maintain their celebrity platforms. Look at the silence concerning military hero Colonel Conrad Reynolds, an advocate for paper ballots, arrested on bogus electioneering charges when all he did was conduct an exit poll. His accusers, Republicans in deep red Arkansas. If Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders is defending the machines, allowing a Trump-loving veteran to be prosecuted, then you know we still have work to do. It's for these reasons that I believe Liberty Vote's rise isn't a house-cleaning rebrand. It's a fresh arm of the same ancient beast. Think of a Leviathan-like octopus, its arms able to bend, twist, elongate, and shorten throughout the nation's election infrastructure. Each arm has rows of suckers that latch onto true election reformers, suffocating them with deep state resources. When reformers gain a victory by cutting off an arm, the octopus regrows it, restoring function in weeks or months. It shifts colors like a chameleon, mimicking coral or rock to hide in plain sight. Liberty Vote's rebrand of Dominion mimics it, with new logos and a website. That's how stupid they think we are. The playbook is ancient, summoning the memory of 2 Corinthians 11:14, which states, "And no wonder, for Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light." Change the name of Dominion to Liberty, and presto, the charade begins anew. And that's the topic for today. Leviathan's Tentacles. Dominion voting sacrificed. Meet the new tentacle replacing it. Liberty Vote. When scrutiny intensifies and a hue shift fails, another arm slithers in. It replaces the exposed one, posing as a free market competitor. Yet all arms, election systems and software, ES&S, VR systems, Dominion, Total Vote, Liberty Vote, trace to one ravenous monster controlling the vote. If you need a primer on all these entities and how each has contributed to the theft of the 2020 election, watch my documentary, Let My People Go, and then come back to this article. If you are up to speed, consider the latest PSYOP for your mind. Raheem Kassam's National Pulse hailed Liberty Vote as Dominion's death on October 9th, 2025. Whether he knows it or not, he helped stage another cycle of deception. His article claims a few days speaking with Dominion's new owner, Scott Leiendecker, and his team. It reads as a public relations puff piece, glossing over the litany of electoral abuses attributed to Dominion and Leiendecker's knowing, precursors to Liberty Vote. Not one detail is offered on how Liberty Vote intends to plug Dominion's software backdoors to bring in, I quote, a new chapter for American elections, one where trust is rebuilt from the ground up. Leiendecker is portrayed as an election integrity bulldog, a Republican election official who reformed elections in St. Louis, Missouri. So, who is Scott Leiendecker? He is the architect behind several arms of the shape-shifting Leviathan, a former Republican elections director in St. Louis. He founded Knowink in 2011, pioneering electronic poll books used by 36 million voters in 29 states by 2024 that enable real-time monitoring ripe for manipulation via internet ties. Remember voters being checked in remotely at a Dallas voting center as polls closed?
I'm now at 817.
I'm 1,089 now.
Just jumped to 955.
You can thank electronic poll book technology for that. Under his watch, Knowink merged with BPro in 2020, inheriting TotalVote, a cloud-based system plagued by subversions. One subversion fraudulently backdated 75,000 Hawaii voters discovered after 2020's fraudulent election. Who knows whether those voters were real? I just know Election Commissioner Ralph Cushnie confirmed 19,042 ballots have no record of their origin in one county in the last general election. Leiendecker's TotalVote was in use in New Mexico, working with Dominion voting systems. That's right, TotalVote had a dry run with Dominion before. New Mexico's 2022 Otero audit, led by David Clements, flagged impossible voter registration spikes. 33 counties' rolls inflated in lockstep, fraudulent registrations ticking like a fine-tuned clock. Leiendecker's last acquisition enabled it. Now he's collected Dominion. Don't take my word that Leiendecker has no intention of reigning in Dominion. An email from Liberty Vote to Dominion clients stating it's business as usual, same team, same support, different name, discredited his public promise to rebuild trust from the ground up. Leiendecker's resume includes a 2010 stint overseeing Kosovo's elections under Obama, a geopolitical win for the European Union. Now he buys Dominion, rebranding it Liberty Vote, 100% American-owned. He pledges audits but leaves lawsuits in place against Mike Lindell and Patrick Byrne. Both are fierce Dominion critics. Both were stymied in their audit efforts. So much corruption, hacks, backdoors, anomalies unfolded on Leiendecker's watch. Yet he consolidates Knowink and Dominion's worst features under one umbrella. Leiendecker is like Agent Smith from The Matrix, a digital enforcer spawning through zeros and ones to guard a cloud-based vote and an AI-driven future, silencing threats to its power. His master is the slave master of old, trading iron chains for digital ones, adapting from plantation to precinct server, promising freedom while tightening its grip on the Republic. Election vendors Diebold, Smartmatic, Dominion, ES&S, Knowink, morph and merge, their arms shifting hues or slithering anew to dodge scrutiny. Federal lines like FirstNet snake into precincts. Unless we have the courage to unplug. Courage to restore human hands and eyes to count ballots. The octopus's game is clear. Fraud surfaces, alarms sound, then the shapeshift, a subtle color change or new arm, all promising safeguards while the code endures. Conservative ink, cloaked in MAGA zeal, cheers the new arm, never naming the Leviathan. To understand the Leviathan snare, we must trace its tentacles back 25 years. Enter the Leviathan arm known as Diebold Election Systems. The 2000 hanging Chad chaos in Florida's Bush-Gore election, a pretext amplifying minor ballot issues, birthed the Help America Vote Act, HAVA, in 2002. It created the Election Assistance Commission, EAC, and funded digital black boxes. By 2003, Diebold's leaked software was found hackable, per A.V. Rubin's analysis. In 2006, its iVotronic touchscreens failed 10% of tests in Ohio, sparking fraud claims and Security and Exchange Commission lawsuits. Bev Harris showed memory cards could be swapped. Tampering totals. CEO Walden Odell resigned in 2005 amid probes. The shapeshift. Diebold shifted its husk to Premier Election Solutions in 2009. When scrutiny persisted, ES&S's arm slithered in, acquiring Premier's assets. ES&S was folded by Dominion in 2010 for $5.1 million, integrating iVotronic into Democracy Suite used in 20-plus states. The result? Orchestrated confusion, like the popular Spider-Man meme where he faces the chameleon, both pointing in bewilderment. Now enter the Leviathan arm known as Smartmatic. Founded in Venezuela in 2000, it entered the U.S. via Sequoia voting systems in 2005, reaching 16 states by 2006. Eric Coomer, a key software developer, joined Dominion in 2010, carrying fraud-prone code, as a 2025 whistleblower revealed citing backdoors. The shapeshift. Glitches in Venezuelan ties sparked scrutiny. The 2007 sale to Dominion merged Sequoia's assets. Hyder Garcia, a Smartmatic engineer, consulted for the EAC, ran Tarrant County elections, then joined Hart InterCivic in 2025, another tabulating tentacle ensuring continuity. Colors on interfaces changed, but the monster's grip held firm. The next Leviathan arm is BPro, which coiled tightly in other jurisdictions. Born in South Dakota, its Total Vote software, funded by a 2007 HAVA grant, spread uncertified via state gifts. Renamed from Centralized Election Reporting System in 2009, it reached Nebraska and Hawaii. Subversions emerged. New Mexico's 2022 Otero audit flagged BPro's impossible spikes. Jessica Palima's canvassing team exposed BPro's Azure ties, hacked by China in 2023, alongside FirstNet access. Stories on FirstNet and Albert Sensors exposed corrupt DHS actors' unfettered access to monitor and change data. One was retruthed by President Trump. Scrutiny followed. The shapeshift. Knowing's arm slithered in, merging with BPro in 2020, inheriting Pennsylvania's $10 million statewide Uniform Registry of Electors deal. Everything is brought back to serve the same monster's body, the Leviathan. Scott Leiendecker has been front and center since 2011 to watch arms slither in and out. He consolidated Knowing, which merged with BPro, which merged with Dominion, which merged with Sequoia, which started with Smartmatic. There are other arms beyond the scope of this article, but I hope you can spot what is going on. Some of you may think Leiendecker should be given the benefit of the doubt. I respond with this. Leiendecker was on the November 3rd, 2020, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, CISA, Election Security Initiative call, a 30-minute coordination among 200-plus stakeholders, including Dominion's Eric Coomer, ES&S, Eric, the FBI, Amazon, and NGOs like Democracy Works. Exposed via 2024 FOIA docs, this Election Day huddle shows Leiendecker is no late-arriving savior. And now he owns Dominion, the same Dominion that tabulated 28 states. Whether Leiendecker wants to admit it, he now owns the scandal in Georgia's Fulton County, the lawfare that brought to ruin Rudy Giuliani, the great Hoff brothers, that provided the basis for the pseudo-RICO indictments against Trump, Sidney Powell, Ken Chesebro, and others can be traced to Dominion's cover-up. He owns the scandal in Michigan's Wayne County. White vans full of fraudulent ballots run through Dominion tabulators in the dark of night. He owns the scandal in Arizona's Maricopa County, with Arizona's automated voter identification heat maps targeting GOP precincts. Those precincts had Dominion tabulators unable to process Republican ballots on Election Day. But at least Leiendecker can say Dominion is now 100% American-owned. Any refunds for the Americans buried by Dominion's lawfare? I ask. Liberty Vote mirrors a limited hangout, a half-truth to pacify, while the Leviathan's arms tighten, like Elon Musk's 2022 Twitter acquisition, reborn as X, exposing censorship, yet throttling critics like yours truly. Liberty Vote's Scott Leiendecker pledges transparency and American control. The software, Total Vote's plugins, Democracy Suite's backdoors, survives on Azure and FirstNet, belying the free market facade. It's a confession to sell a new hue, a new interface, with the Leviathan's cloud goal, centralized voter data. Raheem Kassam gaslights election integrity experts, pushing back against his puff piece. Experts who have forgotten more on the subject than he'll ever know. Leiendecker vowed a rebuild publicly, but emailed clients business as usual. Noink's February 18th, 2025 EAC certification for PollPad version 3.6 drew praise, but ex-critics called it federal laundering for connected systems. In Colorado, El Paso County Clerk Steve Sliker announced decommissioning Dominion gear. Is it a coded signal that bad actors are done delivering the cheat through Dominion's tabulators? New Mexico reveals Liberty Vote's cloud reality. Dominion tabulators and Noink's Total Vote have served up illegal elections on internet-connected, Azure-hosted systems. SOS Maggie Toulouse-Oliver broke laws by processing the election on the cloud instead of the promised air-gapped system. A 2025 Smartmatic whistleblower detailed Dominion's backdoors and war room monitoring, echoed in New Mexico's contracts. Election officials still deny Dominion equipment connects to the internet, but Total Vote is openly cloud-hosted. Leiendecker's Total Vote replaces Dominion's election management with a Ferris wheel of integration for cheaters. Liberty Vote can feign compliance with Trump's executive orders, pretending to clean Dominion scandals, while shifting the cheat to a more elegant subversion. Americans may object when they realize cloud-hosted Total Vote processes election results online. The Center for Internet Security, CIS, tied to Albert Sensors and election censorship, created a faux certification program. It unilaterally certifies software like Noink's. No matter how much hand-waving election officials do about cybersecurity and VPNs, cloud systems are vulnerable to man-in-the-middle attacks, especially with trillions at stake. Total Vote also controls voter registration, mail-in ballot requests, and tracking. Is this a white hat plan to force compliance through one entity? Will we see disclosures like Matt Taibbi's Twitter files exposing censorship corruption? Under Obama, elections were deemed critical infrastructure, giving the federal government monitoring powers through CIS, increasing vulnerabilities. Is Trump's Schumer shutdown gutting the deep state's election apparatus? I don't know. I hope so. But I can't risk my children's voting future on hope. My impulse is to deny Leiendecker daylight until the Leviathan slave master is buried. The foreign ties, Smartmatic's Venezuela, Dominion's Serbia, are too recent to fade under his U.S.-only vows. Mergers mask the monster's body. Eric Coomer and Hyder Garcia carry its ledger. NGOs like Democracy Fund and CIS certify flaws. The Leviathan's arms coil tighter. In episode 6, I talked about the Python spirit, a spirit that thrives in the GOP, where voices ring mostly true, policies almost right. How the serpent aims at third rails, issues that could break the world open. This is such an issue. Conservative Inc. reinforces the cycle of deception, praising Liberty Vote while dodging the Leviathan. Cleta Mitchell's Election Integrity Network pushes compliance rather than outright removal of the rigged machines. Kassam's National Pulse, Ben Dominic's Federalist, Eric Erickson's Red State, and Turning Point tout the development as positive reform, but again skip any mention of rigged machine removal. Scott Pressler's 2024 Pennsylvania voter drive ignores software that can cancel his efforts. Donors like Ron Rudin, Council for National Policy tied to ES&S, and Staple Street Capital profit and deflect scrutiny. Their work and silence on the machines buys the shapeshift, leaving Total Vote's plugins and Dominion's backdoors intact, per Rasmussen whistleblowers serving the same monster. In the wake of Scott Leiendecker's October 25 rebrand of Dominion as Liberty Vote, touted as a trust-restoring overhaul amid fraud allegations, the private equity firm behind ES&S rebranded from McCarthy Capital to M1 Capital, emphasizing strategic evolution and 100% American ownership. Is ES&S poised for rebrand to dodge scrutiny over vulnerabilities and monopolistic control? This would escalate the election tech industry's cosmetic pivots, refreshing images without code audits or decentralization, perpetuating the corporate shell game critics decry before the 2026 midterms. The Leviathan pushes cloud, AI, and blockchain. We must break the cycle. Hand-marked paper, neighbors counting, one day. Trump's 2025 order demands it. Target Liberty's contracts and expose. Name the arms. ES&S, BR Systems, Dominion, Total Vote, Liberty Vote, one monster. Sever them. Shatter the Leviathan's chains. Unplug, and the Republic turns. What do you think? Leave your comments below. If you think I'm onto something, consider supporting me at the Substack link below. As we pursue a goal of 1,000 monthly sponsors to avoid peddling promo codes and distracting advertisements, I want to thank our most recent sponsors. We now have 439 patriots willing to forego the cost of a couple cups of coffee to help me produce these videos. And because of them, I'll be back next week. Until then, God bless and good night.